Hello, LinkedIn Live. Each and every time I go live, it's so funny to see myself. And I know that you see me before I am notified that I'm actually live. So you're seeing me doing my hair, doing my nonsense things, looking somewhere. It's just incredible. Anyhow, welcome back to day 8 from the 21-day LinkedIn Live challenge, which I am super excited to welcome you in. And if you have not yet seen the previous lives, go ahead and watch it because I've received some incredible feedback that it's inspiring, that it's transformational, that it's eye-opening, that it really hits you. And so different people were telling me, oh my God, like I so needed to hear this. So if you have not yet seen the previous ones, go ahead. Also, as you're watching these lives, if you feel like someone needs to hear this, someone specifically needs to hear this, please feel free to share these videos with them in a private message. Or if you feel like sharing that on your profile, on any of the social media platforms, please also do so. I truly appreciate any efforts supporting my work, but also sharing something that people will benefit from, right? It's a win-win-win for everyone involved. And so today, what I want to talk about is something that I thought about when I was doing some grocery shopping in the supermarket. And I need to buy water here in Portugal because the natural water that you receive through the pipes and taps is not delicious and it's not healthy and it's full of not very good stuff. So, and because I love my body and I always do my absolute best to treat it with utmost care and love, as well as I truly love delicious things and I absolutely love delicious water. I love water. You know that feeling when you're really thirsty and you drink a glass of water, and you're like, oh my God, this tastes so good. So this is how I feel about water in general. And so I need to buy it in Portugal, which means that I have to buy quite a lot of it because I drink at least a liter and a half per day. And so today I went to a supermarket, and normally in the past, I would have taken 3 or 4 big jars, bottles, and it just, like when you're basically all of your hands and arms and your entire body is full of stuff because you're carrying things, and then you also have a cart, and then you also have this, and you also have that, and basically you're just juggling 1,000 different things. But this time I realized, wait a second, this is so not classy. It's so not sexy. It's so not cool. It's just so meh. I don't want to do it this way. I don't want to carry 3 or 4 very heavy water bottles all at once, plus some other things in a bag on my shoulder. I don't want that. And what does it have to do with anything? What does it have to do with anything? That is a good question, Ruta. By the way, if you have not said yes, please say hi. Not yes. If you have not said hi, please do so. I would love to see who is watching because I don't know, sometimes LinkedIn doesn't show the comments, but I hope it will. So, what does it have to do with anything? What am I talking about? Well, the thing is, think about it this way. What is most attractive? What is most magnetic? What is most sexy? What is most just you want to know more? You see it and you're like, oh my God, this looks amazing. This is amazing. How come I didn't know anything about this before? How come nobody told me about this? Usually, those kind of things are nowhere in a rush. Usually, those kind of things are very much on its own, very classy pace. It's exactly in the right time, at the right place. It feels very chic. It feels and appears to be very calm and peaceful. So when we look at nature, right? Nature is not in a rush. You would never see sun going like, hi, bye. Sun is not in a rush. You would never see a flower blossoming like, bloop, and that's it. You will see it slowly opening up, right? You will never see all of the leaves suddenly start falling and basically within an hour it's all on the ground in autumn. It doesn't happen. It's a process. It's shedding those leaves bit by bit, one by one, for days, for weeks. And that transition is always this very slow, very meaningful, very genuine and gentle, sensible, sensitive. It's a really beautiful transition from season to season, from a blossom being open and closed, from sun being up and then down. There's this law of timelessness, as if there's no such thing as I have to be somewhere. I have to do something. I have other things to do. I'm busy. I have so much on my plate. I have too much on my to-do list. I have too much on my calendar. Nature doesn't say that. That would be funny. Imagine if nature started saying, I have too many things to do, so I will just rush it through and then focus on the other thing, on the next thing. And so that's exactly how it is when you see people who are somewhat grounded in the present moment. They are calm, they are peaceful, they have this ease about them. They're not in a rush. They might have a lot on their plate. They might have a lot going on. They might actually be very, very busy. They might be the most successful people on the planet, but somehow, when you observe them, they just have this classiness around them. They just have this aura, like, oh my God, something about them is so different. Something about them is so attractive. Something about them makes me want to lean in and listen in and learn more and slow down together with them. I don't want to put the 2x speed to listen to them on YouTube or wherever. I just want to immerse myself in the energy of their essence, of what they're doing, observing how they're doing the thing, right? And so, why am I even sharing all of this? Is because so often we are overdoing it. We're overdoing exercising. It's like, oh, I have to do it every single day, and I have to, it's very important to me, so I'm doing it every day. But actually, if you really think about it, you don't have to be so. When you really think about it, it doesn't even make you feel great when you do it this way. What makes you feel great is, yes, accomplishing a lot, but not because you're in a rush. What makes you feel great is when you go to the gym and you're just having a good time. You're taking your time, you're lifting your weights, you're doing the thing, you're sweating like hell, and it feels so freaking amazing. But again, you're not in a rush. You're not overdoing it. And it feels like somehow you're loving yourself more. In that present moment, you're loving yourself more. You're caring for yourself more. You're allowing yourself to rest in between your reps. You're allowing yourself to stretch. You give yourself the space and time to enjoy, to really feel, to feel every muscle. And so I'm using all of these different metaphors, but what I really want you to feel into is how it feels in your body when you rush through life, when you're doing a lot of things, when you're trying to multitask, when you're like, oh, well, I have to bring 4 bottles of water all at once. But actually, do I? Because it's actually very uncomfortable. I don't want to bring 4 bottles of water all at once. In fact, I want to bring maybe 1 or 2 max. That's the amount that feels comfortable to me, feels much more relaxing, feels like it's just who I am. I will rather go back to the supermarket more often, or maybe even right away, instead of bringing it all at once. So really think about this. Where are you trying to do too much? Where are you thinking from a place of wanting to shoot 2 rabbits with 1 shot, as we say in Lithuania? Because I can tell you that this whole thing about 4 bottles in 1 shot comes from my extremely efficient side of me, the one who always wants to be extremely productive and efficient and spend as little effort as possible, as little time as possible. But then, really, when you think about it, is it really less effort? Is it really saving you something? Maybe you assume that it saves you time, but actually it costs you your peace of mind. Maybe it costs you dignity, even. Maybe it costs you confidence, because actually, when you walk, like imagine me walking with 4 bottles plus a bag full of stuff. Does that look sexy and calm and magnetic to you? Well, not to me. To me, it looks like, I don't know, a Lithuanian woman. There are some jokes in Lithuania, basically how men treat women there. But of course, things have changed in the meantime. So these jokes are based on some old paradigms, right? But what I'm trying to paint here for you to picture is that if you imagine a Lithuanian 65-year-old woman whose husband is watching TV at home, but the 65-year-old woman is coming back from the supermarket with 4 very heavy bags, dragging them back home to cook a meal for the husband who is just sitting on the couch and drinking beer, type of thing. Is that sexy? Not quite, right? So that's basically how it looks when you try to do too much at the same time. And this applies to women and men. When I look at men who are, I don't know, let's say they're overdoing it in the gym and it's just not their natural body type. Like, it's just not it. Maybe it is for some people. I'm not judging that. But it's overdone. You can see that there's some kind of compensation going on. There's some kind of insecurity internally. There's some kind of distortion going on, right? It's not natural. It's not organic. It's not the actual body type that they have. And it's somehow exploding into this balloon with huge muscles. Or when we look at men who are trying to do all of the things all at the same time, it might appear very impressive, but there's this classiness missing. There's this calmness missing. It feels very hectic. It's like, doing all of the things all at the same time. So I'm really curious if this resonates with you in any way, because for me, when I think about who I want to be, how I want to live my life, the type of people that I want to surround myself with, I don't want to be in a rush. I don't want to be carrying 4 bottles at the same time. I don't want to be doing 20 things at the same time. I don't want to pretend like I'm having a conversation with someone while I'm responding to someone's email and checking something on Google and at the same time ordering a coffee. That just does not feel right to me. It feels like there's some kind of anxiety behind it, stress, like it doesn't feel delicious. It doesn't feel like I'm truly in the present moment, honoring the present moment for what it is. If that means bringing a bottle of water, then doing it with grace, doing it with class. If that means having a conversation with a friend, then putting all of the energy and attention to that conversation and really listening to what they're saying, what they're feeling, and responding in a thoughtful manner. If you're Googling something, you don't get distracted by something that you saw on the phone because you got a notification, but you actually go and Google it. How many times that happened? That you pick up the phone to Google something or do something and you get distracted right away. And then you go on a rabbit hole for like 10 minutes and then you wake up and like, wait a second. I was planning to do something different. So all of these examples are showing you what it looks like to be in some kind of a stress, anxiety, rush, being hectic, trying to force something and like, I need to arrange all of these things all at the same time, juggling all of the balls in the air. And yet, when you relax and when you choose to be more present, when you choose to live a life from a place of, I can handle it all in a classy, slow way. I'm going to take my time. What is more important to me is to feel amazing, is to truly enjoy the moment, is to be really, really present and aware in this very moment, to be aware of my surroundings, to be aware of the energy, to be aware of the people around me, to be aware of the weather, the temperature, the sounds, the sensations, all of it. And it improves every single part of your life, everything. It improves your relationships because people finally feel heard and seen and felt by you. It improves your sex life, for example, because finally you're in the present moment, you're truly enjoying it, and you're giving pleasure. It improves your business decisions, your career, because you're so present and you are actually productive because you're prioritizing in the right way. You're doing things that are important to you with utmost care and attention. Everything becomes so much deeper, so much more aligned, so much more intentional. And because of that, there's far more quality. There's far more strength and consistency. The consistency is far more potent of your life, of your every moment of life, really. Because every moment of your life becomes deeper. You're no longer rushing through it, skipping a few steps, skimming the text as if you're reading a book or a paper and you're just skimming through it. You actually pay attention. And when you pay attention, it lands somewhere. It does something to you, right? So I'm curious what you think about all of this. Again, I want you to share these videos with anyone who would benefit from it. That would mean the world to me. And if you do so, please let me know. Truly, this is something that I really, 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 really appreciate. And that is it for day 8. And see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.